Welcome to our kitchen. Today we prepare medieval mushrooms from Antimus d'Observazione Ciborum, written in the 6th century, and Anonimo Toscanus, Libro della Cucina, written in the 14th century. We start with ingredients. We need leeks, pancetta, black pepper, cloves, costus, fennel, and mushrooms. For our recipe, we have used Lactarius salmonicolor, a beautiful milk cap, which we found during a hike in the woods, but you can choose the mushrooms you prefer. In ancient and medieval dietetic literature, mushrooms are usually considered difficult to digest, mainly because of their cooling and phlegmatic properties, starting from Galen and including Antimus, one of the authors we used to prepare today's recipe. The addition of herbs and spices is intended to correct the harmful effects and balance the properties of the mushrooms. Galen, for example, recommends adding vinegar, honey, hyssop, and oregano, whereas Pliny suggests saltpeter, meat, and vinegar. Despite the common distrust, however, there are several recipes in ancient and medieval cookbooks. We slice the mushrooms, then we mince the pancetta, alpha leek, and the fennel, and we grind the spices. In his book, Antimus usually gives general instructions for healthy preparations, but he doesn't give a specific recipe for mushrooms. In the chapter dedicated to them, he only writes that mussirones and tubera, which are truffles, are better than boleti, which are heavy and indigestible. But it's difficult to identify these mushrooms exactly. In other passages of his book, Antimus lists a series of herbs and vegetables that can be added when cooking food, such as leek, cilantro, dill, pennyroyal, fennel, and celery, and a series of spices that are believed to have warming properties, such as pepper, costus, and cloves. So we decided to prepare mushrooms by combining Antimus' directions with recipes found in late medieval sources. To complete our preparation, we use the recipes found in Anonimo Toscanus, Libro della Cucina, and Liber de Coquina, which include spices, aromatic herbs, leeks, and a cooking fat, which can be olive oil in the lean days and pork fatback in the fat days. In the fat version, the late medieval sources also recommend the addition of eggs. This is essentially the same preparation that Antimus would recommend, with pork fatback used as the typical substitute for olive oil. We render the pancetta, add the leek, and saute it for a couple of minutes. Then we add the mushrooms, cooking for 15 minutes. Other mushrooms may require different cooking times. When they are almost done, we add the spices and fennel. Instead of pork fatback, we have used pork belly, but you can choose any cut of salted pork you like, as long as it is sufficiently fatty. Depending on the type of mushrooms you use, you can change the spices and the aromatic herbs, choosing from those listed by Antimus, or others typical of the medieval period, such as marjoram, mint, parsley, or oregano. If you use olive oil, don't forget to add salt to the mushrooms. Whereas costus and cloves are perfect with Lactarius salmonicolor, other mushrooms are better with just a little pepper. In any case, we recommend using spices in moderation, so as not to overwhelm the overall flavor of the dish. Our translations of Anonimo Toscanus, Libro della Cucina, and Antimus de Observatione Ciborum, complete with an introduction and a glossary, are available on Amazon, along with a book dedicated to vegetables in historical cuisine, titled Early Italian Recipes, Vegetables, Fruit, Herbs and Flowers. On Patreon instead, you will find the translation of the Liber de Cucina, in addition to several articles on medieval food and other translations of ancient and medieval sources. A list of our books on historical food is in the description below, along with the links to buy us a beer and purchase our merchandise. These mushrooms were amazing and very tasty, with their flavor perfectly balanced by the spices and the leek sautéed with pancetta, a delicious dish that deserves to be tried in many variations, changing the type of mushrooms as well as the spices and the herbs, for an extraordinary result. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, subscribe our channel and consider supporting us on Patreon.